Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys how to remove a roof spoiler that has double-sided tape. So this one's been here for a while, and I would say I had this spoiler for almost 4 years. And as you can notice, the clear coat in the top coating, it's fading away. Let me go on the other side. You can't really see it from here. Okay, so now you can actually see all the scratch marks and the fade linings. So as you notice, this one has actually still looks a little bit new in comparison to the top layer, which has a lot of scratches. So over time, you know, these roof spoilers, especially if they're aftermarket and they are painted, from the not from the factory, but literally just painted outside the factory warehouse. This actually what happens. So they only put one layer or possibly two layers of clear coat. So over time, the clear coat starts to fade, and eventually, after a couple, thousand washes or however many times you wash your car, depending on your preference. Also, as well as the heat rays from the sun. So over time, of course, the paint deteriorates. So what you want to do is either resand this down and wet sand it and then re-clear coat it, or replace it. Depends on your preference as well. If you still like to use the same spoiler or like to go a different route. For me, I will be using a carbon fiber roof spoiler. So I'm gonna go grab that real quick. Okay, so this is the carbon fiber roof spoiler that I just purchased about, I would say, given 2 weeks ago. It is very nice. You can actually see how well it's been made. So it's really good. I like the material of this. I would say you could buy this on eBay for about 130, give or take. Otherwise, it's a little bit more expensive than that. Depends on the seller. So in comparison to that, I would like to just replace it with this carbon fiber. I did get, I was skeptical about it given the fact that it is carbon fiber and over time, the gloss on this will fade away as well. But actually, since I've been doing carbon fiber all around my vehicle, it's better that way. So same with my spoiler, same with the diffuser as we go around the vehicle, same with the side skirt, and including the front light. And not to mention the cover mirror caps. So I think that's about it. That's all considered carbon fiber on this vehicle. So now it's time for the roof spoiler, and possibly in the future maybe I will change the hood to carbon fiber, including having the hood scoops, but later on in the future. As a moment, so I'm going to show you guys what you will need. So as well as most people try to use the heat gun method, and it does take a while. With the heat gun method, it does require two people, one person lifting up the roof spoiler and the other person using the heat gun. So as you overlay the heat gun on the double-sided tape, you will want the other person to lift slowly, because you don't want to lift it too fast, otherwise you will either bend the roof spoiler or crack the glass. During this cold weather, most likely you might crack the glass. I do got some cut resistance gloves, if that's what you want to call it. But my methods today, since I'm doing this by myself, I will be using these precision knife set. So as I lift it, I will cut along the double-sided tape. Most likely I'll probably use this. So as you lift it, you will want to just cut along each tape and lift up slowly. And if you want to start from the bottom first, you can do that. Otherwise, you can do the bottom and do the top. So let's get to it. So let me show you guys just how you do it. And so you cut slowly and it is a trick. Also cut into your spoiler because you will cut into um, the beyond the gloss. Actually, brain fart right there. You will cut into the top layer of the clear coat. There you go. And so you will just want to cut slowly and accurately. And as you do that, these knives are pretty sharp. You could buy these at Harbor Freight, or you can actually buy them in any auto parts store. But for this one, I did purchase these at Harbor Freight. So be careful too as well, because you could cut into the glass as well. You don't want to leave any cut prints behind. So what I'm doing is just slowly, putting a little bit pressure, applying a little pressure as I cut away. You don't want to cut towards you because you don't want to cut yourself. Most people would tend to do that, and it's not a smart way to do this. So as I do that, I pull back and pull out. So I'll start from the other side, the top layer, and you pretty much move slowly. It does take some time, give or take. It could possibly take you about 2 hours, depending. This has been here for a long time, so it probably will take a while. Some people will use fishing line. You will want to buy pretty good durability of fishing line that will not break. Do not buy the cheap ones or thin ones, otherwise you will have the fishing line breaking on you all the time. You won't want to buy some thick ones, not too thick to where it is hard to get underneath and hard to break away the double-sided tape. So I am taking my time on this, so be very careful, because then you could also cut yourself as you move the blade. One method you can use is use your right hand and then use your left hand, depending on which one is your dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I had a couple practices using my left hand and moving it precisely and with precision. So you want to just do this slowly and carefully, so you don't want to cut yourself. Is one of the other problems which will delay you from finishing this. You gotta, cut your own thing. The blades, you can replace it, since these set comes with extra blades just in case you do break them, or if you want to use different blades on these. It does take time, so you can heat up the double-sided tape and heat up each area for about, I would say, 30 seconds or so. So at least it gets nice and hot, and it can peel away a little bit. But you can also cut through the tape, because as it is right now, it is a bit hard, and it is hard to cut into. So as I do this slowly, once you get done with this, you should be able to take off the roof spoiler. And what you can do, since this is glass, you can use a razor blade and clean up the surfaces, but do be very careful as you don't scratch into the glass. Otherwise you can use a plastic scraper, which is a lot safer, and you can spray glue gun if you prefer. Most people will, and otherwise you don't need to. You can use the heat gun also, and to loosen up the double-sided tape as well. Other than that, this is probably going to take me a while, so I don't want you guys to watch the whole video of me doing this. So that's one of the methods, or three. You can either use the heat gun, use a razor blade, one of these knives to cut into the double-sided tape. It's always better to work with someone that can help you compared to you doing this by yourself. It's less time consuming with someone else helping you. They could actually do the other side, but be very sure you can trust them that they won't cut into your vehicle. Also, they can, they'll well inform them how to actually do this method. So that's about it. Once I get this done, most likely the progress, I'll probably post the results later on in the future. Other than that, I am also planning on replacing this spoiler to a different one. So that's gonna come on my next video, next possibly couple videos. I am still waiting for it as it's being built. So that's about it. That's how you remove a roof spoiler. Same method goes for this spoiler on the trunk, but the other problem is you don't want to use a razor blade, otherwise you will cut into your paint layers, and you will see, cut marks, and you don't want to have that. So what I used for this, when it had the stock spoiler, the lip spoiler, I did use dental floss and heat gun. That did take me about, I would say, 3 days, as if I'm busy with work, and also and to clean it out, I did spray glue gun and left it there for, I would say, given 4 to 6 hours, and then I scraped it off. Once you do let it sit there for a while, it does come off easily. So, and that's how you remove the roof spoiler.